Blazes ignite unexpectedly, which 5 U.S. states now face skyrocketing wildfire risks ahead. This isn't distant, this is happening now. And cities stand dangerously downwind from expanding flames. Let's uncover which states face the most explosive wildfire potential and why urgency demands attention. First, California, where megafires rage longer, hotter, and with terrifying frequency every year. Record-breaking temperature patterns, dry forests into tinderboxes that ignite under slightest spark. Shifting climate zones push fire seasons earlier and extend them deeper into autumn. Wildlands collect drought-stricken deadwood, fueling infernos that defy containment by firefighters. Communities once considered safe now evacuate regularly as flames threaten suburban backyards. Next, Arizona, where desert wildfires leap across chaparral and pine on scorching winds. Heat waves bake soil and vegetation alike, priming landscapes for fast-moving, explosive fire behavior. Downbursts and dry thunderstorms whip flames unpredictably, making forecasts unreliable and front lines unstable. Remote mountain communities find themselves surrounded by unmanageable infernos in record-breaking seasons. Tourists and hikers now carry evacuation plans alongside sunscreen and hats. Colorado comes third, where drought-stricken forests and pine beetle infestations create volatile fire conditions. Burn scars from previous fires accelerate regrowth of highly flammable shrubs and grasses. Wind corridors channel devastating firestorms across valleys, threatening towns with terrifying speed. Fire seasons overlap increasingly. Spring burns merge with autumn outbreaks, creating continuous wildfire threats. Tourist destinations like Aspen and Durango brace for wildfire devastation analogous to California. Fourth, Oregon grapples with megafires fueled by heat, low humidity, and lingering coastal winds. Coniferous forests dry rapidly, producing firestorms that consume large swathes overnight swiftly. Rural communities scramble as smoke blankets towns and air quality collapses regionally. Wildfire insurance becomes prohibitively expensive, creating mounting economic stress for homeowners. Record-breaking blaze years rewrite Oregon's fire history and reshape its ecological baseline permanently. Fifth, New Mexico, where desert basin ecosystems ignite under unprecedented drought and warming winters. Shrublands explode into flames across brittle landscapes formerly considered less susceptible. Rural areas face evacuation orders as wildfire danger escalates silently in sparsely populated zones. Heat-driven tree mortality raises fire frequency in remote mountainous terrain unexpectedly. Resources stretch thin as firefighting capacity fails to meet the scale of destruction. All 5 states now share one terrifying trait: fire seasons that refuse to end. Climates shift, bringing longer droughts, hotter summers and wetter winters that turn vegetative tinder. Each new spring begins next to last year's unresolved burn scars, fuel for future flames. Evaporation grows faster, soil dries deeper, forests ignite earlier than any recorded season. Cities scramble, fires rage uphill into suburbs, spurring mandatory evacuation in minutes sometimes. Why these states? Rising western temperatures and repositioned weather patterns concentrate dryness regionally. Urban development spreads deeper into wildlands, creating highly flammable interface zones around homes. A century of fire suppression left forests overgrown, fueling today's uncontrollable blaze vectors. Beetle infestations killed millions of trees, providing dry fuel for rampant fire outbreaks. Smoke from western blazes drifts coast to coast, impacting air quality and health for millions. Public health systems strain under wildfire smoke. Respiratory hospital admissions spike dramatically. Tourism industries stutter as visibilities vanish and fire seasons cut outdoor recreation short. Insurance companies reassess wildfire mapping, premiums rise, and some areas become uninsurable near flames. Farmers lose grazing lands to scorched pastures. A site of ash replaces green vegetation. Rural economies falter under recovery costs, rebuilding demands, and shrinking agricultural returns. Governments respond. Prescribed burns, thinning programs, and defensible space mandates gain momentum slowly. Fire-wise communities plant fire-resistant species and invest in underground power line insulation projects. Emergency systems evolve. Alerts reach faster. Evacuation routes map quickly. Shelters mobilize urgently. Wildfire forecasting improves, but fire behavior remains unpredictable under shifting climate variables. Air tankers, drones, and detection systems become vital tools in modern wildfire management. Community resilience rises. Neighborhoods volunteer for brush clearance, evacuation planning, and water storage setups. Indigenous fire practices re-emerge. Cultural burning returns as smart strategy for ecosystem health. Land managers adapt, replacing monoculture with diverse forests that resist catastrophic combustion better. Building codes shift toward fire-resilient materials, roof certifications and ember-resistant construction required. Homes now escape destruction where defensible space becomes home's first line of defense. But adaptation isn't enough. Climate mitigation must work alongside fire preparedness in these blazing states. Reducing emissions now slows warming, easing pressure on fire seasons over coming decades. Reforestation with fire-resilient species helps rebuild landscapes post-fire while buffering future risks. Cross-jurisdiction collaboration improves. Wildfire doesn't respect county, state, or tribal boundaries anymore. Funding models evolve, channeling federal, state, and private dollars into wildfire prevention efforts. Human behavior still causes many ignitions. Responsible camping, spark monitoring, and controlled burns are critical. Public education campaigns now target rural and urban users to prevent human-sparked infernos. Media shifts fire narrative. Complex causes over sensational headlines to help build deeper understanding. Resilience becomes culture. Fire season no longer temporary, but integrated into everyday state lifelines. As flames climb across western skies, these 5 states stand living warnings of present danger. Their landscapes now test cases for balancing ecosystem health with human safety and development. They remind us fuel management, planning, and climate action must unite against wildfire's accelerating threat. Because when wildfires blaze longer and fiercer, survival depends on courage, science, and community solidarity. Let these states' burning stories ignite change before ash becomes our future's defining color.